My name is John Tegeris, President of DRPS. I live at 14028 Tegeris Drive, Dayton, Maryland. Thank you for this opportunity. I'm going to go right to the positive. We advocate for legitimate farming as it pertains to mulching and composting. We are advocates for those farmers that either have mulching and composting on the farm, for the farm, from the farm, that is part of their normal operations. We don't see anything in the language in any of the old regs, the new regs, that prohibit that. Nothing in the bills we see prohibits that. We want to advocate for that and make sure our county council includes that language in any of the amendments going forward. What we strongly oppose, and this is your chance in the group to stand up for this, we oppose natural wood waste recycling of any kind on our ag preserve land and RC farmland. That translates into trucking in of land clearing debris or natural wood waste for industrial processing to truck back out explicitly for commercial sale. This belongs in M1. It does not belong in our agricultural and our rural neighborhoods. We oppose this implicitly, and we hope that you all take this into account. It belongs in M1. Just because the definition of farming has changed does not make it legitimate farming. We really only have two proposals that have been put forth at this time. One from a successful industrial business operator who wants to take his facility from M1 in Elkridge and double the size in our rural community. Another that's operating illegally that also wants to increase the size of his operation. So if you believe that's where you are, please stand for 5 seconds. Let me know if that's what we oppose here today. We've gone over this many times. As small as 1 acre footprint for mulching operations, very evidence-based. For those of us who live on well septic, the concerns over heavy metals, groundwater contamination are too great for our community. For those, in terms of mulch fires, we've seen a lot of them in Maryland over the past year. For those of us not on public water, there's really no way to fight those fires. Some less than 1 acre in size, in essence, require hundreds of firefighters. They require hundreds of thousands of gallons of water to contain. I think it puts our farmlands and our jeopardies in danger. If you have embers, you can't contain that. Safety, kids, school kids up and off buses, you've got cyclists, athletes, you've got elderly people crossing the street for their mailboxes. It's quite clear that, in one facility proposed in Dayton, 15,000 trucks per year, these 18-wheelers, it's an unacceptable risk, safety risk. Health, we think there's a lot of evidence-based documentation and literature that shows that mulch dust is carcinogenic, that mulch spores create significant respiratory illnesses. Again, this is something that's unacceptable. The zoning process, although we wholeheartedly believe since our February 20th meeting through today that all of this has led to an unintended consequence in the zoning regs, we think the zoning process is broken. And we need to encourage you all to fix it. There are 3 issues. Senator Kittleman and Councilmember Watson spoke at the April 28th meeting and basically said that there needs to be more time. Too much is being shoved through the funnel at the 11th hour to give you all the time to do the proper due diligence and for you to inform the communities, for us to have a chance to see what's going to happen with some of these things. The issue of, so that's an issue of time, an issue of access. Just because you're a successful attorney and well-liked, just because you may be a previous leader of DRPZ, just because you may be the president of DRPS, does not give any one individual the right to influence the zoning process. So we ask that you address that. Further to say that it's also an issue of intention. We need complete transparency to understand what these zoning amendments are about, whether they're from the administration side or they're from the public side, so we can really be informed. Our communities cannot sustain this. We're not built to fight one conditional use hearing after another. That's why we're all here today, and we expect that you all will make the change to keep natural wood waste out of our rural communities. All right, what's on the table? So we have basically on the table, we've got our bill that says 0% natural wood waste recycling. We've got Greg Fox's bill that's co-sponsored by Councilmember Sigby and Councilmember Watson for 1 acre cap on ag preserve, and Ken Ullman basically went forward to take it to extend it, commit to an amendment to extend it also to apply to RC. We've also heard that we're talking about going back to the old regs as a possibility. If that occurs, then obviously we need to make sure that you all include in there no natural wood waste recycling as part of that language going forward. I'd like to end and close with a letter that I think speaks to you all. Dear Mr. Tegeris, the enclosed donation is from our family. We jointly own the improved property location to be the closest parcel of the mulch facility is now proposed. My wife has been fighting ovarian cancer for over 7 years. In addition to chemotherapy infusion during these 7 years, her kidneys failed nearly 3 years ago and requiring dialysis 3 times a week. Needless to say, her immune system is severely compromised. Although DRPS has enumerated the many reasons why the mulch factory should not be located in the Dayton area, our biggest concern is maintaining safe water and clean air. Should the mulch factory be allowed to proceed, it no doubt will be the kiss of death for my wife. We appreciate all the time-consuming hard work so many people have put into this battle. Hopefully the labor given will be rewarded by securing the intended resolve. I am the messenger for this letter. This letter was written to our county executive. It was written to our county council. They rely on you to protect their families, to make the right decisions. They cast their vote for you, and they rely on you to make this necessary change to keep this industrial process of natural wood waste recycling out of our rural communities. Thank you.
Yeah.
Questions for Dr.
Regardless of where we stand, the professional way that you've handled, yourself through this, and just taking the time and leadership. I know as far as being involved in the community battles myself before, being on the council, it's a lot of energy and a lot of time, and appreciate your willingness to step up regardless of where everybody stands. Thank you.
I want to say that thanks to what we believe will be the case, that you will make the necessary change. We are going to return this $500 to this family so they can use it for well-needed medical care. So we're counting on you to make that happen.
I would just say that what you've been through as the leader of this group is very good training ground for a council member.
Thank you very much. We appreciate you all. Thank you.
Where do you live again?